Welcome, welcome. Hi, everybody. Welcome here. I'm going to jump in and get started. My only hope is that you can actually hear me. But I think we're getting pretty good at this, so I think we can. Hi, everybody from all over. You know, I don't think I know enough about this to know that, I guess apparently when people do these, they say all these hellos from all these places. I'm going to skip that just because y'all know I love you, and we just got to get going. We got things to do and people to read. Okay, so we got a lot of great questions, and I'm really appreciative of those. Some of the times you guys were asking questions that, you know, I've kind of answered over and over and over, but I'm still going to answer them. I might reference you to places, you know, but I'm still going to answer them. Okay, so this first one is both, there's a couple questions in here. Now keep in mind, you all know that we started a pattern making class. You know that I'm a huge, you know, endorser of pattern making. You know that, but simply because I understand, you know, somebody said it a couple weeks ago, you don't know what you don't know. I know what you don't know. And what you don't know is you don't know patterns. And I'm seeing it over and over and over. So today in these questions, if it's a pattern making question, I'm going to flag it that it's a pattern making question. And I'm not, you know, I'm not going to answer it. We don't answer pattern making questions. We answer fitting questions. Okay. And not because I don't want to, simply because there's just not enough time on the planet. Okay. So this first one, she's asking, number one, is that top, could 94 is a new pattern for spring. Could 94 work for that pattern? And I love that she would ask this. The answer is no. It's 212. It's our POM this month. We're starting to see, the reason I made 212 the POM is we're starting to see it all over the place. Now, I don't know why 212, you know, is a pattern we released some time ago, but it is just adorable and cute, and this is 212. This is it. So look at 212 for it. Then the other one was she wanted to make these pants. So this is all about styling. This is a pattern making question where how do you get to this wider pant? You just go on each side of the grain line, but you have to know the number you want in the first place. Otherwise, you're kind of doing trial and error, and it could just take you a long time to accomplish it. So it's a big, you know, to me, it's a lot of time spent doing that. It's easier to go shopping, even if it's a Target, a Walmart. They all are doing big styling. So, you know, I would go from there. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm reading something and I'm talking at the same time. I noticed this morning at the new fabrics you presented Thursday, reward points. We haven't got there yet, you guys. We've gotten to where we know what we have to do, but these reward points are not simple. They are complex. And so we're going to, you know, it's going to take us a little bit to walk them through and figure out exactly what we're going to do. So hang on and be patient with us on that, and we'll get them up when we know what we're doing. Okay, the next question is, I just finished Sonia's blouse and commend your pattern making instructions. I'm more satisfied with my end result, but I do have some questions. I made a muslin using finished garment measurement D. I'm a triple D. I took some darts in the muslin following LCD. Is there a YouTube video that dresses larger than D cup? No, just do that exactly what you're doing. Keep in mind that D cup bra and D cup pattern is not the same. D cup pattern has more depth in it than a D cup bra. But the only way I have of linking your bra cup size to a pattern cup size is by naming them the same. So just go with that. Make the tweaks where you have to. You will find they will be small and not, you know, there's not going to be a lot of change, and just go from there. But I don't have any pattern making instructions on doing it. Again, well, we'll get back to that. Okay. All right. This next question, I love this. I love this. I just absolutely love it. Okay. She said she's making I want to make sure you guys can see that. Is that in your screen? Let me just shrink that down just a little bit. Okay. She's making a raglan top. This is 523, I think it is. But she's saying the top, she loves the top, but the top doesn't love her. Okay, and simply because she's not understanding how to take a couple changes. And that is, if you look at the side view right here, the side view just needs a dart. So we put the dart up in the neckline, And it just means that her dart that we put in the neckline is not big enough for her. So she needs additional darting. So if you just make a dart at that side seam, and I didn't want to make the dart because I didn't want to mess up the photo, but if you just take a dart in the side seam, taper it all the way to center front so that the front can still be on the fold, taper the back same way, taper it all the way to center back, that will fix it. And Raglans love everybody. So it's simply a misunderstanding of not knowing how to do that. I need to read this question again, you guys. Sorry. I noticed this morning that the new fabrics that you presented Thursday p.m. at the end of the explanation, reward points. Okay, yeah, just hold off on all that. I get excited and I mention things, but as we go to post them, like I said, it's just more complex. So we're going to have to go through and make sure we get them. Right now, nothing is going to. It'll take us a couple months, just FYI. Okay, so are we okay on these raglans and these wrinkles? These wrinkles are telling us, and the way to diagnose this is the wrinkles are telling you that there's more wrinkles at the side than there is at the front. Those wrinkles at the front are vertical, and they are because of the gathers. The wrinkles at the side are diagonal, and they are depth. So that's how you distinguish those wrinkles. Okay? All right. Let's go on to this next one. And this is a follow-up of one we've been working on. She had sent the pant. She didn't like there was wrinkles above her knee. And so I told her to take this dart out. She did, and she's very happy. Now, keep in mind that when you are taking this dart out at the knee, it's above the knee, and it's simply because the body's changing angles. And the fabric cannot change angles unless you help it. It can change angles, but it can't change angles unless we help do it. So that dart is widest at the outseam. Hear me, hear me, hear me. It's widest at the outseam, tapers to nothing at the inseam. That is a dart. It goes from the outseam to the inseam, tapers to nothing at the inseam. It changes the angles, and there you have it. Okay? Okay, so notice again, it's gotten a little tight at the rear end to me, short. I mean, it's up to her, but I would lengthen it and then take away another dart at the top of the inseam. But I told her, don't get nutso. Like we get nutso. Don't get nutso. You know, when you think about the fit and you think about how good that fit is, leave it alone. Sometimes we do get nutso. Okay, is everybody okay over here? I got to go back and forth. Is it still too tight? No. No, don't assume anything until one thing is done. So let's go back to that picture just 1 second. No, you can't. It doesn't. You can't see tight. Change the wrinkles. Follow the wrinkles. L, C, D. There's nothing that will keep length here where it is. So it can't be a length issue. Yeah, no, just let's do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. One change at a time. Okay. I want you to look at this pant. And you can see I did 3 views because, just the same problem affects. If you look at the middle picture, the side view, you can see that all of those, this is a D-cup pant on a B-cup butt. This is exactly, what we've seen before. There's a D-cup pant on a B-cup butt. And what all that extra depth does is it just sags down below. So notice all of her wrinkles are diagonal. They're all diagonal. They're all telling you we got big depth issues. And we've done this. We've done this many times. And that is that at the hip line, there needs to be a dart taken. The dart goes from the center back seam and tapers to nothing at the side. Sometimes when I get a photo like this, I wonder, okay, guys, you got to do some homework. You got to do, just go in and search for baggy butt or, butt pant draping, or go in and look at something so that you can get started and get this finished. This is a really easy problem to solve, and it's all happening on your end. All right, so you're welcome to ask, don't get me wrong. Okay, and with this photo here, now keep in mind, do one problem at a time. So the length You know, clearly the circumference looks okay, the length looks okay. It could be though that once she takes a dart at the center back seam and takes it up, it could be that the length is actually too short, which I'm suspect it is at the beginning. But again, do one thing at a time. And sometimes if there's one problem that's very extreme, it's hard to see another problem. It's just hard to see another problem. And I'm sorry, this is going back to the Raglan again. Are all the same as Abby's top? Yes. Okay, so she's saying if I take a dart at the hip, then the crotch is too tight. Okay, good girl. Perfect. Okay, so what that's telling you, listen to what that's telling you. What that's telling you is that there's two problems going on. Number one is the crotch depth is too short, and the crotch length is too long. So you have to, unless you're going to wear pants like this, you have to make those changes. So in order to make those changes, you've got to lengthen and add inches all the way around the waist and drop the crotch down so lower the crotch depth so that you can make the crotch length shorter. Now, if those terms are just spinning around in your head, just watch more of our DVD videos. Just, you know, they're free. Just watch more of them until you understand the difference between crotch depth and crotch length. Crotch depth here is actually too short. Crotch length is too long. But you can't shorten the crotch length because that crotch depth is so short. So that's exactly what you're saying is you've already tried to take the dart. You can't take the dart because it crawls up your butt. So add length all the way around the pant. Drop it down so that you can take out that dart. You've got to take out that dart. Okay, I'm going to leave this picture up here for a minute because the next question corresponds to it. And it's the question is, I've got a lady who she needs 2 inches in the back. The front is okay. She has a larger bottom. Okay, so that's the opposite of this. If your pant is coming down in the back 2 inches, you need to slice the pant, same place you're taking the dart at the hip line, and add in those 2 inches. Okay, so that you can get the back of the pant up to where you need. Now, honestly, guys, this is a pattern making issue because you're not understanding, I mean, you're following what I'm telling you to do, but you're not understanding how the skirt is made from the pant, and where it's added, and the problems that occur because pants are the easiest thing to fit. They're the hardest thing to buy in ready to wear because of the variables. And because in ready to wear, they know they can't get the variables right. They just shoot close. But when we're home and we can get those variables right, boy, they're just very simple to change. But I've got to understand the difference between crotch length and crotch depth. Okay, does that help? I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Okay. Okay, so Cindy, I hope you got that. It's your pant. Understand the difference between crotch and depth. You're going to lengthen the crotch length. You're going to lengthen the crotch depth, sorry, and you're going to shorten the crotch length. Okay? Okay, good girl. And if you don't mind, send us pictures. Now, here's another pant thing, and I put them together. This is a lady who took a pant fitting class, and she said, you know, she's made up a wearable muslin, and she doesn't understand what's going on. Okay, so the problem is you've gained weight. Because this is Sally's pant, and Sally's pant is made out of non-stretch. So, I know I hate to be the bearer of bad news, you guys. But you can see how short, on the picture on the left, you can see how short this is. You know, I'd never let you go home with a pant that looked like this. And you would never accept me fitting you a pant like this. So, this is why it's really important to understand this stuff, is so that when you do gain and lose a little bit, you can make adjustments. So in the picture on the left, what's happening is because the circumference has increased, it's pulling the pant up. It's not allowing the pant to be where it was. So in this particular case, the crotch depth is too short. So all you have to do is go around, add the same amount top and bottom, and lower that crotch depth. I mean, you could add a little bit of circumference, but I wouldn't. I would just add the depth that you need. And notice what happens is because it's too short, it throws, I'm looking at the picture at the right now, it throws that complete leg out of whack because it's trying to get extra from somewhere. you could probably add circumference at the side seams, add a little bit, because I know I have fitted this pant. I know the L, C, and D were right. When you added weight, you've just added it all the way around in circumference. So you could add like a 1/4 inch at each of the side seams, front and back. That would give you a whole inch, and put that pant on, or else just for the sake of ease, just let out the seam allowance. And I think you'd be surprised what happens when you do that. I think you'll be, excited to see that, oh, okay, it's just a little bit of weight, and I could let that out, and that pant would restore itself. Because you can see it's all pulling just because there's just not enough circumference. Okay, now I can, it's too short, and it's, et cetera, et cetera. But because I fit this pant before, what I'm trying to say to you is once you have a muslin that's fitted and it's just a weight gain issue, you know that, all you got to do is add circumference and it will probably be okay. So it's a little different than if you've had a muslin that's fitted before versus never having a muslin, starting from scratch, if that makes sense. Okay, next question. This is a question that is about a pattern. She's wanting this halter. She likes the gathers, but she wants to add more. So this is a pattern making question. And I'm just not going to answer that one, okay? You guys got to learn that pattern. And also I don't want to answer it because I really want you to start to separate out what are pattern making questions and what are fitting questions, because it will help you realize how much pattern making helps you. Not to beat a dead horse, I'm just trying to separate that out, because I think as sewers we don't understand where does pattern making stop and fitting start. And I think if I say, okay, nope, this is pattern making, then you'll have, it'll help you. When I make a pattern with a kimono or raglan sleeve, I stop. That's a pattern making question. When I make a pattern with a raglan or kimono sleeve, that's a pattern making question. So I'm going to stop on that one. Okay, next question. How do we find an earlier broadcast where you focused more on the basics? I enjoy the styling and fabric webcast, but want to go back to see more on the fitting, the LCDs when you spent more time showing how to change the fit. And I appreciate this question. The reason, so what I do, we're silhouette patterns. Okay, that's a body. It's a whole body. What I'm trying to do is figure out what you all are missing and fill in those voids. I felt like we were getting L, C, and D. I just felt like we were getting that, but the problem is, and I know you all know this, is that we get a lot of people coming in at different intervals. And so it's difficult, to do all of that. So I'll switch back and forth. I left fit, and I went to styling, because fabric pattern combinations, I was getting a lot of questions about, will this look good with this? Will this look good with this? And I didn't feel like I could answer those questions, but I could show you those answers so that you could make better informed decisions about what you wanted to do. So I left the LCD and went back into the pattern fabric combinations. They're both very important points. Okay, so to answer the question, that's just to tell you how we kind of see it on our end. To answer the questions about LCD, if you just go to our YouTube channel and type in LCD, type in depth issues, type in cup sizing, just search for them. If you just search for what you're looking for, it will come up. A video will come up, and I think that will really help you. Just literally put in the search bar what you're looking for and then see what comes up. I thought this was the question and answer time for the basic pattern making class. No. That's a private class. That's on a, this is just the Q&As. Every other Thursday night I do Q&As. The basic pattern making class is private. It's done on YouTube, but it's an unlisted page. So we do have them going on there, but we have just started the class. So we're not even into the Q&As for the pattern making yet. We're just starting. Okay, I hope that helps. I know it might be confusing a little bit, but I hope that clarifies. Okay, so this next question is, when you lengthen a sleeve, this is the last question actually. When you lengthen a sleeve, do you start at the bottom of the desired length and width? this is like, I'm going to show you, I took a sleeve, and I'm going to explain to you kind of what happens here. And this is kind of just like a pant leg. You know, I want you to visualize it's the same thing. If you're adding a little bit of length, I've always said just add at the bottom. It just doesn't change the circumference enough to worry about it. The reason over the years that patterns have given an internal lengthen or shorten line is because it preserves the circumference at the hem. Okay, hear me when I say that. An internal lengthen or shorten line, that red line there, preserves the circumference at the hem. That's assuming the circumference is what you want. That circumference is styling. There's many cases, and you all know this, when the styling isn't what you want anyway. You don't like their styling. You change the styling. So I'm wanting you to have more information and be more sophisticated. I'm wanting you to understand and measure, what is the circumference? What do I want? If you don't know, then you're kind of shooting in the dark, and that's what I'm trying to get you to avoid, is to just shooting in the dark when you do styling. Styling is very important. It's a very critical part of the pattern. I do your styling for you. When I make a pattern, when I release it to you, I've decided upon the styling. And for many of you, you've gained trust in me. You take that and you like it. But now you're lengthening a sleeve. And if you're okay with the styling, you can add to the bottom and then just restore the sidelines. Or you can make an internal line. In either case, I'm wanting you to understand more about the pattern and more about what you want so that you can make an informed decision. I think all of our decisions should be informed. I mean, I want them to be. So that's why I'm trying to teach you this stuff, so that you can, understand and go from there in this process of lengthening and shortening, and understand what a lengthen or shorten line does, and understand what the consequences are of adding internally or adding at the bottom. Those are my two choices. If I'm adding just a little bit at the bottom, it's probably just not going to make a little difference. It just depends on how much you're adding at the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to go back to this Q&A. Your Series 100 DVD covers basic. Our Series 100, honestly, when I did that Series 100, look at a lot of variables at PBS. You all know that. And I thought, you know what, if I only get one series done, if I only get to do one series, I'm going to cover what I feel like is the very most important, and that's Series 100. Now, here's the deal with Series 100 is it's not airing anymore because we released it to NETA. There's different divisions in PBS, and that's a lower level, and now we're on a higher level. The higher level didn't take what we had submitted to the lower level. And so that lower level is only available through purchase, and I'm not trying to get you to buy. I'm just telling you the facts, okay? My Series 100 won't play on my DVD player. Your Series 100 will play on your DVD player. It's a DVD. So, now there's two formats of DVDs. A DVD player, that's another complicated issue. The technological world went in and made different DVD player formats. So if your DVD won't play on your DVD player, there's nothing wrong with it. Just take it to another DVD player, and so just figure out the formats. All DVD players are not the same, and I didn't do that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We just picked the DVD format that was the most popular, and I think it's R versus I don't know. I can't remember. There's two formats. We went through this and it was miserable. And there are two formats. And why they did that, I just don't know. Okay, so Series 100. However, let me just tell you that we are going to have a raffle. We're going to raffle away an overlock machine. Is that what it's called? No, it's Overcast. I can't, anyway. It's the high-end machine. It's the beautiful cover stitch. It's the cover stitch machine. We're going to raffle off a cover stitch machine, and we're going to do it starting on this Tuesday. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is every $100 purchase that you make at Fit to Stitch will enter you into that cover stitch machine. So don't spend $60 right now on a video, or $50, or whatever Series 100 is. I'm going to say to you, wait. Every $100 purchase will put you into that Raffle. It's a cover stitch machine. I always call it the wrong name, you guys. I'm sorry. So hold off on that till Tuesday night, even if you decide to purchase number 100. And, you know, we'll pair it with something else, and you can go from there. I just want a long sleeve from a short sleeve. Okay, Janet, dear. That may be really simple, but it's just not that simple. It's like saying, I just want a tomato out of an apple. Okay, that just can't happen, okay? It can, but you've got to know what do you want the long sleeve circumference to be? What do you want the circumference to be at the hem? Okay, you know, I could say, I just want peach cobbler out of peaches. Okay, but do you want sugar? Do you want flour? You know, there's variables in going at the process. I just want isn't quite that simple. Okay, and I'm not telling you it's hard. I'm just trying to give you the steps that go in between. 100 series was your very first one. Yes, it was. It sure was. I had you fit a pair of knit pants. Then I lost a lot of weight. I've dreaded refitting, so should I just try them on again, just taking in the circumference? Yeah, and don't dread this, you guys. I mean, look, it's L, C, and D. It can't be that hard. First take in the circumference, but if you've lost a lot, and that's your definition, a lot of weight, if you've changed 2 sizes, it's not going to work. But, you know, this lady that I showed you, she gained, you know, I mean, she's not here in front of me, but I'm going to say she's probably gained 5 pounds. It's not that much. So it just depends on how tall you are and how much weight and how many sizes it is. Is a Raffle for all customers, whatever country we live in? It is. It is. Just know that if you win, and if you're internationally, you'll have to pay for the shipping of the box of the, you know, of the cover stitch machine. I paid for the one here, but it was a local, you know, it was a U.S. customer. I paid for that shipping. But so that's all. Yes, if it's international, I'll just charge you for the amount of the shipping. It's still a $2,000 machine, and it's still an amazing deal. And you only have to pay $100 to enter in. But again, that's Tuesday night. We'll explain all of that Tuesday night. How many hours in the advanced pattern making class? I want to say at least 8 or 10. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but quite a few. How about a donation to Fit to Stitch? Will that count? Yes. So thanks for asking, Karen. Every $100 donation counts as one entry. The stakes are higher. We're just giving away a higher merchandise. We're putting up our series. Our series will be included in that. So every $100 donation will count as one. So this is where we'll get in we get in every year, you guys, and I just can't say enough thanks. We get in, you know, ladies who will donate these large amounts, and so we want them to be entered in. So we'll have the page redone. The website page is not redone yet. We will have it redone, and every $100 will go in for this cover lock machine. That 100, yeah, I can't encourage 100 enough. Again, it's because I said if I never get to do another series, I'm throwing it all in here. So I really packed that with a lot of information. Are all silhouette pattern woven sleeves interchangeable? Yes. I'm not always certain what the base pattern was for every pattern. You guys, that's a fair question. We're working on going back. The wovens are all 600 though. The knits are everything below 1,000. The knits are all 195, and the wovens are all 600. Okay? And this is Tuesday night. This will be our Tuesday night video. We haven't even posted it yet, you guys. We've got a great Tuesday night plan for you. I'm very excited about it. We've got all kinds of fun things. So, you know, yes, it'll be Tuesday evening. It's our 8 o'clock. We've had so many problems with internet. I do believe all of our internet issues are solved. It's just a really huge frustration for us because, and I know it is for you all too, because we start something and bam, it shuts off. They do repairs or, you know, something like that. So, you know, I really appreciate your patience and thank you. For those of you who just purchased the basic pattern making class, are we entered into the raffle? Okay, so the pattern making class has nothing to do with Fit to Stitch, and it will have nothing to do with the raffle. The raffle is a Fit to Stitch, and if I'll explain it all Tuesday night. In fact, you know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do, just to keep it clear. everything in Fit to Stitch starting today. I'll go back and pick up the order starting today. That way, if you purchase something that enters at the raffle, we will start. So if you're going to donate, whatever, you can do all of that today. We'll go back to pick up on the raffle from the 8th of June. We'll start it officially the 8th of June. But it does not include anything on the Silhouette Pattern site. The Fit to Stitch is a nonprofit. It has to be donated to be a nonprofit. And I hope that that makes it clear, you guys. Sometimes when I start answering questions ahead of time, it seems like it makes it more confusing to you. And my apologies for that. It's just sometimes we hear part of something. Pattern making class has nothing to do with Fit to Stitch. It's already started. You can get into it. I would strongly suggest you get into it. And I'm just trying to help you understand the difference between pattern making questions and fitting questions. They are two completely separate. I can see where, because you don't know pattern making, and you don't know, you just think it's all fitting. And they're just two separate fields. The more you know about pattern making, the more you help separate it out. And I think the more it becomes clearer. So glad the internet is working. Yes, we are too, you guys. We've hobbled along because we have a mechanism that ties us into the internet even if the internet is not working. However, it's a low band and it's not enough to stream. It's not enough to do the high volume of what we do. So we can ship orders, we can do little things like that without internet because we've got devices, but they don't give us the higher volume of what we need to be able to do exactly what I'm doing right now. Okay? All right, you all, I really appreciate you being here. I've got to go open up a store, and so I've got to run. I can't say thanks enough, and I really, the goal is to help you. However, keep in mind that you've got to do your homework, and I don't want you to dread this. I just want you to know that as you know more, the job will become easier, and my goal is that should inspire you. That should inspire you to just say, hey, I've just got to learn a little more. No big deal. The pattern making class, in my mind, is a way to jumpstart your knowledge. It's a way to have you do less work where I'm just feeding you the information. Okay? All right. So with that, we're going to say next time, thank you all for being so patient with us. We really appreciate it. You know we love you. And we'll see you Tuesday night. We'll see you Tuesday night. All right? Thanks. Bye for now.